Good, happy Sunday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. Coast Guard rescues 6 from sinking boat off Massachusetts coast. Let's take a listen to this video from
Make it McMulkin to get Black Friday savings all month on top of McMulkin's huge volume advantage. Choose from over 45 Chevy Cruzes and drive the 2017 Chevy Cruze LS for only $139 a month. You are guaranteed to save where it is Black Friday all month long.
A helicopter crew from Coast Guard Air Station Cape Cod came with pumps after the 9:30 a.m. call for help from scallopers. Their boat, the 72-foot Captain Jeff, was taking on water.
They hit a rock, they hit a ledge, and started taking. Must have put a hole in the boat, obviously, and they were starting to take on water.
Drifting and sinking quickly 5 miles off of New Bedford. The priority moved from salvage to rescue. 5 men and 1 woman were on board.
When I left, the bow was just about under the water.
The captain says they left New Bedford 4 days ago and had 5,000 pounds of scallops to haul in.
The captain seemed a little bit disorientated, and perhaps he wasn't wet, so I don't think he was hypothermic, but he didn't seem normal.
Other than some minor lacerations and cuts, they're all stable.
They shouldn't have been in that area, but, it must have been obviously a navigational error.
The flooded boat under tow struggled in choppy water and tough wind.
But the plan is to upright the boat and tow it into the Fairhaven waters.
Investigators decided to beach it as close to shore as possible and tried to pump it out. The crew, now at a local hotel, declined comment.
There wasn't much talk. They wanted to get back to land. They would, as I said, it was everybody was pretty somber on the boat.
The captain and crew are from North Carolina and Virginia. They tell me they just need hot showers and some warm clothes. In New Bedford, Rondella Richardson for WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Rock climbers rescued overnight from Cannon Mountain. 2 Massachusetts men were rescued from Cannon Mountain in Franconia overnight Saturday, New Hampshire Fish and Game officials said. Officials said they were alerted at 10:30 p.m. Saturday that 2 rock climbers who were stranded 2/3 of the way up the moon shadow climbing route on Cannon Cliff. The pair reported that they had lost their way and could not continue up or down. Knowing that foul weather was forecast early Sunday, they called 911 for assistance instead of risking a difficult ascent after dark. Conservation officers coordinated a nighttime rescue to avoid climbing in rain and snow. Officials called tram operators from Franconia Notch State Park to relay rescuers from the all-volunteer mountain rescue service and a conservation officer to the summit of Cannon Mountain. Rescuers climbed down and found William Spencer, 29, of Boston, and Michael Franklin, 23, of Somersville, Massachusetts. Officials lowered the 2 rescuers to secure both climbers as wind and rain hit the area. Spencer and Franklin were lifted to the top of the cliff. The rescue party was able to hike down the trailhead where they arrived at 10 a.m. Sunday. Spencer and Franklin said they left early Saturday to climb the moon shadow route, but had trouble finding it and were delayed. They said they tried to find the route for several hours in the dark and eventually gave up due to safety concerns. They said they called for help because they didn't want to risk climbing on wet rock Sunday morning. Officials said the pair were well equipped and have climbed all over the Northeast, although this was their first trip to Cannon Cliff. Fish and Game officials said outdoor enthusiasts are encouraged to purchase a Hike Safe card. The card helps support Fish and Game search and rescue activities. For safe hiking tips and a list of essential gear, visit hikesafe.com. They also reminded hikers that days are getting shorter and that hikers should allow for significant time to complete their hikes in daylight and prepare accordingly with appropriate gear. James Mattis has emerged as a favored contender for defense security. Retired Marines Corps General James Mattis has emerged as a favorite contender for nomination as Secretary of Defense in Trump administration, ABC News has learned, winning strong public praises from the president-elect and an endorsement from retired Jack Keane. Sell FedEx on the Trump economic ifrum and wait for a better entry point, top analysts say. Top-ranked analyst David Ross and Self on Tuesday downgraded FedEx to hold from buy, advertising clients to take profits and wait for a better entry point following the stock's recent rally on Donald Trump's presidential victory. Donald Trump, Melania, and Barron will not move to the White House intentionally. Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
Sayonitsa lies in a beautiful green valley next to the River Southern. There's industry here, a centuries-old castle on top of a hill, and buildings from its more recent communist past. Among these concrete blocks once lived a young girl who would grow up to be an international model, marry a billionaire, and just maybe become the First Lady of the United States.
I was born in Slovenia, a small, beautiful, and then communist country in Central Europe.
You lived in that block, and Melania lived where? Melania lived over here.
Yes, yes.
Mirjana Jelancic and Melania Trump, or Melania Knaus as she was then, were neighbors, childhood friends who used to exchange notes across a line of wool strung between their homes. Mirjana is now the principal of their old school. She tells me she remembers Melania as sophisticated, mature, well-spoken, a peacemaker between fighting children, and from an early age, someone who dreamed of leaving Slovenia to pursue a career designing fashion.
At first I saw her silhouette.
Stani Yorko showed her another way. The photographer says he approached teenage Melania on the streets of the capital, Ljubljana, and asked her to model for him. She was a little bit shy on that first day?
A little, but she learned very quick.
She learned quickly?
And she was very good. At second time, she was very good, like a model. The first time and the second time.
Peter Bouton says he knew Melania as her modeling career was taking off. He says they cruised Ljubljana on his blue Vespa, fashionable transport in what was then communist Yugoslavia.
Still the original color, also the original leather seat.
Yes.
Yes, and she was here.
He's now trying to sell it to raise money for charity. So you hope the Melania collection will get you how much for this?
No, our target price is more than 25,000.
He is, a little ambitiously, talking about dollars. Peter and many in Slovenia speak with pride about the possibility of Melania being First Lady. But they know her husband's campaign isn't going well. They've heard about what Donald Trump calls locker room talk and allegations of sexual assault.
These events never ever happened.
For every woman, are not some easy words to hear from her husband.
Petra Sadeh and Melania went to high school together. That's Melania on the right.
What do you think of the man she chose to be her husband?
It's her choice, so...
No opinion?
No opinion, but it's her choice.
Melania's old friends won't publicly criticize her husband, but many are willing to give remarkably similar advice. As Mirjana Jelancic says, Donald Trump should listen to his wife more. In Melania's hometown, there's talk of a special exhibit if Donald Trump wins, not to honor the new president, but to celebrate the unlikely origins of an American First Lady. Phil Black, CNN, Seonica, Slovenia.
Okay, and that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday night. Good night, everyone. Bye.